virtue of authority in the Speaker under paragraph 15 of Appendix B of the Rules of Procedure of Republic of Uganda, I now declare Honorable James Kakooza being the only candidate in this election and duly elected to represent Uganda in the East African Legislative Assembly.
After being approved by Parliament as the successor of the late Mathias Kasamba in the East African Legislative Assembly, James Kakooza promised to fulfill Uganda's goals and expectations in the East African Parliament, adding that he is the right person.
It's given to me. I think I'll do my best to serve the interest of the citizens of the East African partner states. And I would like to see this, that being my experience, I've been in this house since 2001 to 2021. I do think I'm your best choice. I will not disappoint you.
Meanwhile, there was reading of a report about the outcomes of the placing by Honorable Fox Odoi, who headed the committee, and it included the different views from different people who agreed that since the deceased was from the NRM party, his successor has to be from the same party.
That the Honorable James Kakooza meets and fulfills the requirements under Article 50 of the Treaty for the establishment of the East African Community and the rules of procedure for the election of members of the East African Legislative Assembly as set out under the rules of procedure of Parliament of Uganda, and is therefore successfully nominated as a candidate for elections to fill the vacancy at the East African Legislative Assembly.
Different legislators, including Asuman Basalira and Medad Segona, have talked about the report.
I think that as far as I'm concerned, if we are really to build multipartism and to build a consensus, it is really just fair that the NRM considers ceding some of the seats they have in Eala. Because as we speak now, out of the 9 seats, they take 6. Can we think about minimizing the numbers for NRM to accommodate other shades? So the idea of numerical strength in a democracy is good, but may not take us far. We should really be talking about consensus building. We should be talking about equity. We should be talking about understanding each other. It is also in the interest of the NRM, in my view, to have broader representation in Eala, a representation that reflects diversity of political parties and diversity of the various shades of opinion.
That would allow a level of debate to bring out some of these issues. Of course, decency, to me, and the African culture in me, would require that, yes, we could permit NRM to present a candidate, and that I would not have an objection. But for the reasons given by the committee, I would fundamentally disagree. Even when it comes to the ruling of the Speaker can only guide on how to facilitate an election where voters and all candidates who wish to participate are given a platform.
The government chief whip, Thomas Tayebwa, has talked about the whole process of approving the new East Africa Legislative Assembly legislator.
To thank the leader of opposition and my colleagues on the other side of the political divide. This is the unity we need if we are to transform multi-party system in Uganda. And I want to make a commitment on behalf of the government side that if such a misfortune happens on your side, if the opposition loses a member occupying such a position, with the NRM we shall not encroach on that seat.
In the same line, the leader of opposition in Parliament, Mathias Kasamba, has congratulated Honorable Kakooza.
Of our representatives in East Africa, in the East African Legislative Assembly. Now this House resolves to refer this matter to the Committee on Rules, discipline, and privileges, to consider possible amendments in light of the pending Eala elections. That the committee should report to the House within a period of 45 days on the considered amendments relating to Eala elections. I so move, Right Honourable Speaker.
The term for the East African Legislative Assembly ends next year, and thereafter there will be voting of new legislators from the member countries, which include Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, South Sudan, among others. This report has been compiled by Isa Chigongo for Channel 44 Prime News.